Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson. The former MVP of the league at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Oh, Andrews has it. What a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That is one heck of a catch. Too.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep down the left sideline. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another 1st down there as this one goes for 25.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move it back in the back.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It is picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. A fake on the jet sweep as they'll go play action with Hurts. Trying to lay one up deep. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Brown the motion man right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or...
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. Down the sideline he goes. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Britton Covey going to bring it out of his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six.
Now Brown, oh, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need...
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. But first down, Hurts. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that's one where if you get your hands on it, you should expect to make the play. That could have gone for big yardage, but he just couldn't get it to stick to those big mitts.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run with Barkley. Fighting down past the 45. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 12-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 1st and goal and a chance to make amends for the earlier pick 6. Hurts to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Kyle Hamilton. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On first down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays.
Under pressure, they got him again. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal?
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And the fake field goal works to perfection. You don't see it often, and they caught him by surprise.
And how about the guts to call it in that situation? Think you're going to get an easy 3? Instead, you turn it into 6.
Elliott good with a PAT. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, he exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field.
And touchdown, Eagles! A.J. Brown, 42 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get... Set and head back onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Henry. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They go play action with Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 27 yards. And the Ravens have cut the lead back down to 2.
We're still in the 1st quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him, because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do, because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to have the football here. At at their own 18-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. Not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop it. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried the fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Ravens. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's going.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Henry. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games, and I notice you cradling the football. You get it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here, and that didn't occur on that play, did it?
Now, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was down there?
You would not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Second down, here's Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Third and long always tilts to the defense, and I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball, and on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him, and somehow he turned a short pass into a first down.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. Dancing to his left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Play action. Here's Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, a 7. Yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Elliott on for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead, and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Oh, fighting off the and Henry's hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Offense set at the line for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try to run for the first. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. All fumbles are costly, but that one really hurts because he had the first down.
Yeah, that's all he needed, right? But the problem is we coach these guys to try and get more, but that doesn't count if you don't bring the ball with you, does it?
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. He finds his tight end Goddard. That's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Owe. And the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
50 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second and a couple. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
And remember, this is a running back that fumbled on the previous drive, but fortunately for them, nothing came of it. And I think when that happens, sometimes coaches can lean a little more on forgive and forget. So he's right back out there and running again.
Now they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went ahead and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 30 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from capturing the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
They'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Play action. Now Jackson. Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews. 23 yards, the final tally.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
They're going to empty the backfield here, so you know this ball's likely to come out quick. They let the 4 outside receivers run deeper routes and then let the tight end just make a beeline across the formation. He's able to make the catch and turn it into good yardage and a first down.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 72 yards on the ground now for Henry, and he's got a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first and goal, they'll try the option left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Ravens are able to widen their advantage. Now Tucker to add the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out and out come the Eagles. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they took their shot. That one was kind of up for grabs that time. And you've got to be careful defensively not to make contact too early. But that was textbook right there to get in tight and force the incompletion.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start. But they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Henry. And he will take it in for a rate.